I suppose you're going to follow me around this entire trip.
That's what I'm here for, Mr. Rector.
Well, I certainly hope Dexter's private plane was able to shake any pursuers. It would be nice to only have to think about my job for a change, rather than being attacked.
You worry about your job, sir. I'll take care of the rest.
I need to find out who Captain Walker really is. I've started this dossier. This biography is very basic. According to the Moebius info from Dexter, Rarick was the founding father of the modern Moebius theory and worked for the British. I haven't heard of Montfroy. Must be information about him somewhere. The barista. He has an elaborate neck tattoo. Mr. Walker?
Yes, Mr. Rector?
Tell me about your time in the army.
What do you want to know, Mr. Rector?
How old were you when you joined?
20. I knew I wanted to join the military, but if I finished college first, I could enlist as an officer. So I did. I enlisted as a second lieutenant right after graduation.
How long were you in the military?
10 years.
Why did you leave the military?
I spent the last 18 months of my service training foreign armies to disable protesters. Their own people. I couldn't do it anymore. It's getting really bad out there.
No worse than it's always been.
No, trust me. It's worse.
What did you study in college?
I have a BA in military history.
You said you were from Indiana. Did you grow up there?
Yes, I grew up in a small town. Didn't leave it until I went to college.
You've never heard of an agency called FITA?
Not until you took me there. I've made a few phone calls. None of my buddies have heard of them either. They seem to excel at staying under the radar. So, I take it you're supposed to identify a woman who might become Senator Markham's wife, and this is somehow tied to a Roman emperor. I don't suppose you'd care to enlighten me.
Here's what I know.
So, Senator Markham is supposed to be Augustus, and if he marries the right woman, he'll become president and save the global economy?
If you take the Moebius theory seriously, yes. Or at least, he has that potential.
Do you trust the Moebius theory?
It seems absurd, but let's just say I can't entirely dismiss it.
Thank you for telling me.
Probably not the smartest thing I've ever done.
You told me because you know you can trust me. And you can.
I don't trust anyone.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about your family.
I have one sister. She's married and lives in Ohio.
And your parents?
They're still living.
What about a wife or a girlfriend?
I haven't been in one place long enough to have a relationship.
I don't suppose you have any more brilliant jokes.
Hell yeah! What's brown and sticky?
Do tell.
A stick.
It's not really funny, is it?
Did you hear about the Buddhist at Yankee Stadium?
No.
He asked the hot dog vendor to make him one with everything.
Yes, I see.
Tough crowd. Why were the journalists all gathered around the crater?
What crater?
It's just a hole in the ground. Doesn't matter.
Of course it matters.
It really doesn't.
Fine. Why were the journalists all gathered around the crater?
They were hoping for a story that was a little meteor.
I see. Are all these jokes of yours word puns?
Pretty much, yeah. Why was the skeleton lonely?
He was bony. No, that's not right. He was skulking?
Nope. Nice try, though. He was lonely because he had no body.
Oh God, that's pathetic.
Great, isn't it? What did the pate say to the stuck-up filet mignon?
I wait breathlessly for the answer.
What do I look like? Chopped liver? Like that one, did you?
That's all for now.
As you say, sir.
Good afternoon. I'm Malachi Rector, and this is my associate, Mr. Walker. We're here to see Caroline Alphonse.
Please, come in. I am Brett, house manager for the Alphonse family. I received a call from the consulate that you were coming, but I'm afraid you must be disappointed. Caroline and her father are away for the weekend. However, I am at your service, monsieur.
Thank you, Brett. He says he's the house manager. I suppose that's something like a butler or a PA. Tell me about Caroline Alphonse.
She is very special, intelligent, beautiful and kind. She is the crème de la crème in every way.
Tell me about Caroline's father, Henri.
Henri is a very important man. But you must know this already, eh?
Exceptional businessman, doting father, pillar of the community, etc., etc. Is that about it?
So you say, monsieur. I'm sure you know best.
When will Caroline or her father be back?
Not for days. Henri is out of the country on business, and Caroline is away for the weekend.
Do you know where she went?
No, she did not tell me.
I'd like to see Caroline's room.
I'm afraid that will not be possible.
The consulate told you to cooperate with me, did they not?
They said you were coming. They did not say to give you access to the family's private rooms. I cannot allow it.
That's all for the moment.
Oui, monsieur.
This is a terrible forgery. I can see the seams of the plastic frame under the gold paint. Horrendous. It's a genuine antique long case grandfather clock, 19th century. It's a fake, and not a very good one. An 18th century burled wood cabinet. The decorations indicate it was made here in Paris. It's genuine and worth at least $5,000. The mirror is Swedish Rococo, dated to the mid-1700s, made by Nicolas Meunier. Very nice. That black lacquer is modern, and the gold is fake. It's a forgery. First editions, some of them quite fragile. The books are authentic. This isn't a 14th century globe. It's a knockoff, not even a very good one. The furniture is just as it appears to be. They're sturdy pieces, but not particularly rare. It's gold leaf, and the urn itself is a modern replica. Tacky. The signature is wrong, and on closer inspection, the work is hasty. This is a fake. Do you know what I find fascinating about this room?
What is that?
The astounding number of fake antiques. How long have you been stealing from the Alphonse family, Brett?
It's not true.
Come now. These aren't your ordinary knockoffs. These are fakes meant to replace very specific and valuable pieces. You've been having the fakes made and replacing them one by one. I don't suppose anyone in the family is smart enough to realize it.
No, I do it for Madeleine's sake. Henri cheated her in the divorce. She got almost nothing. She needed my help. Caroline knows about it and she approves. But not Henri. Please, do not tell him, monsieur. He will throw me out and make sure no one will hire me.
I may be able to hold my tongue, but you'll need to be much more accommodating.
Oui, monsieur. Anything.
I want to know where Caroline is and when she'll be back.
Caroline won't be back until Monday night. She did not tell me where she was going, but I had the feeling it was a lover's rendezvous. One she was not looking forward to.
I'd like to see Caroline's room now.
Very well, monsieur. I will take you there.
Caroline has a degree in economics from l'École Normale Supérieure de Paris. That's a prestigious university. It's a book about the Paris catacombs. Caroline must be interested in the subject. These are all current event and economic magazines. Caroline must have an interest in politics. I don't need to take those magazines with me. That head looks Victorian, but it's not a very attractive or valuable piece. I wonder why she keeps it. That's excellent work. I didn't even notice the seam.
Nice.
I need the combination. It looks like it's 6 numbers. Perhaps a date. If Caroline has any secrets, they'll be in that safe. Now I just need to open it. Those computers appear to be for public use. It appears that the librarian needs to send data to this computer before it's of any use to me. You can't get into the archives without a password. The head librarian, I presume. She has an interesting fashion sense. Excuse me.
Yes, may I help you?
I'm looking for information on Caroline Alphonse. Newspaper articles, a biography, things of that nature.
If you mean the current Caroline Alphonse, she's much too young to have a biography. But there should be clippings from the press. Take computer number 2 at the table over there. I'll send you what I find.
Thank you. Do you have any information about Benedict de Montfroy?
Let me look that up. There is something in the private archives, but access to that material is by invitation only.
I'll pay. What's the fee?
There is no fee. You must apply for a special grant and demonstrate the need for access. The process takes weeks. Would you care to fill out the form?
No, that won't be necessary. Damn French bureaucracy. Is there a place to get coffee around here?
Unfortunately, no. I wish there was.
Thanks for your help.
You are welcome.
Caroline was engaged to a 43-year-old man when she was just 19. Caroline's parents divorced when she was still a teenager. Interesting. Caroline's fiancé called off the engagement. I wonder why. I'll take a photo of these in case I need to reference them later. There's a post-it note on her monitor, but I can't see what it says. I'd like to get my hands on that note. It might have something to do with the archives.
No, don't touch that.
Sorry. The orange lipstick on that cup matches the librarian's. Maybe I should take a closer look at that coffee. I think I know whose coffee this is. I'd like a closer look. The orange lipstick on that coffee cup is familiar. There's just enough left in the cup for me to get a sample. Moo. I suppose I could buy a coffee for someone else. Un café, s'il vous plaît.
Un moment. 3 euros, please.
Merci. There's a counter for adding cream and sugar to your coffee. It's rather tan. It definitely has some cream in it. It tastes sweet. Far too sweet for my palate. Ordinary white sugar. It's not quite sweet enough. I think the coffee is correct now, but perhaps I should dress it up a bit. I suppose these are for making shapes in the foam on your coffee. How unsanitary. I need you to distract the librarian. Give her this coffee and be friendly.
All right.
It's the password from the librarian's desk. There. Now to see if it's delivered. The book on Montfroy is in the book drop. Oh my god. He does sound familiar. This is very strange. It mentions a man named Saint-Armand. I should see what I can learn about him. Got it. Good. I just need to pick it up. I wonder why Saint-Armand was so loyal to Montfroy. It couldn't have been for money. Montfroy was a mere abbot. This says he's buried in the Paris catacombs. I'd like to see that. Got it. Excuse me.
Yes. May I help you?
Excuse me.
Oui.
I read that there's a medieval knight named Saint-Armand buried in the Paris catacombs. Do you have any information on how I could go see that?
Let me check for you. Yes, Saint-Armand is called the Knight of the Catacombs, but I'm afraid the section where he's buried is off limits to the public.
You're joking.
Pas du tout. There are over 200 kilometers of tunnels and mines under Paris. Very dangerous. Only a small part of the catacombs is open to the public. You can find tourist brochures in the lobby.
Damn it. The Paris catacombs sound fascinating. You wouldn't have some old maps I could peruse? Purely for the purpose of research, of course.
It is illegal to go into the underground. All of our maps have been removed from circulation.
You just... fine. Thanks for your help.
You are welcome.
Mr. Rector, come in.
Thank you. How did Henri avoid paying Madeleine a divorce settlement? The papers indicated that he'd been unfaithful and violated the prenup.
I do not know. Madeleine said he made it look like he had no money. He must have hidden it. But Madeleine's lawyer was unable to prove such a thing. It may have something to do with Henri's business partner, Etienne. I do not trust that man.
You make Caroline sound like quite the paragon. But I read that her fiancé broke off the engagement. Do you know why?
I do not gossip about the family, monsieur, but that man, he was an idiot.
Tell me more about Etienne.
He is Henri's business partner, a very sharp man, but I do not like him. The way he looks at Caroline, it is not right.
Did you know Caroline's mother, Madeleine?
Naturellement. I have served the family for 15 years. I was here when Madeleine was still in the house. She is a beautiful and gracious woman.
Sounds like you quite liked Madeleine. Is that why they divorced?
Ridiculous gossip.
When Madeleine left, you stayed with Henri. You prefer him, do you?
She is not able to pay me, or she would have taken me with her, monsieur. I told you she got almost nothing in the divorce.
I believe that's all I'll need from you, Brett.
Oui, monsieur. Let me know if you need anything else.
That did it.
I'm impressed. So you're a code breaker too?
Hardly. The date on that note is this weekend. That must be where Caroline is staying. I need to see her in person. That's an accounting ledger. I wonder why it's in the safe. The ledger is for the family's finances. Caroline appears to be very involved in the running of the estate. These numbers don't look good. I need to speak with Caroline. It's a letter to Caroline from her ex-fiancé. I wonder what practicalities her fiancé is talking about. Was it related to virginity? Infertility? Scandal? Money? We can go. I've gotten everything I can from this room.
Yes, you did. I can see why Dexter considers you a prime asset.
What do you mean by that?
A prime asset is someone of military or political importance. Someone who has a unique skill. Someone worth protecting at any cost.
I'm not sure I'd like guarding a person like that.
Someone has to. Let's go.
The lanterns are a romantic touch. Caroline Alphonse, another lovely young woman with an impeccable pedigree. But is she Livia Drusilla? Mademoiselle Alphonse?
Oui?
I'm Malachi Rector. Perhaps someone from the American consulate told you I'd be getting in touch.
Oui, I did receive that message, but I did not realize it would be so soon. How did you find me?
Oh, it wasn't so difficult. May I join you?
Very well. What can I help you with?
Tell me about yourself.
Me? I have no amusing stories to tell. My life is my family and my family's business. That is all.
That doesn't sound like an exciting life for a young woman.
Exciting is overrated.
Tell me about your mother.
There is nothing to tell. She does very well.
Thanks to some pawned antiques, I take it?
Who told you that?
I visited your home. I could see for myself.
Nothing illegal has been done. I knew the antiques were being sold. I do not wish to discuss it.
Tell me about your father.
Henri Alphonse is a well-respected man. You can ask anyone in France.
How is the state of the Alphonse family business?
That is a very personal question.
That bad, is it? You're here with Etienne.
Yes.
The same Etienne who's business partners with your father?
Yes.
Isn't Etienne a little old for you? Then again, your fiancé, Gerard de Villiers, he was not a young man either, was he?
How could that be any possible business of yours, Mr. Rector?
Where is Etienne now?
He had some business calls to make. He is very dedicated.
What is your relationship with Etienne?
You can see what kind of place this is. Surely you can guess.
I'd like to discuss your family finances.
How did you get that?
Does it matter? The point is, I have it.
Everything will be repaid. Every debt my father has. I made sure of it. There is no reason for the police to get involved.
And how will it be taken care of?
Etienne Angy. He will cover the debt. And more besides.
That's very generous of him.
We are to be wed. Naturellement, he would not allow my family to be ruined.
Your father ruined the family fortune? That must have been quite a trick. I thought it was an empire.
My grandfather made mistakes as well. But my father, he's ill. He has an addiction to gambling. I hope you will not feel the need to make that public. Our name is all I have left.
I'm not interested in gossip. So you intend to save the family business by marrying your father's business partner?
Etienne is an intelligent and successful man. It works out well for everyone.
You're marrying Etienne? Isn't he your father's age?
He is 55. It does not matter. Passionate love, it fades. My parents' marriage taught me that. Being married to Etienne will suit me very well.
I've heard you have an interest in the Paris catacombs.
I am interested in French history. The catacombs are full of it.
Have you heard of a 13th century French monk named Benedict de Montfroy?
No. Who was this man?
I wish I knew. Have you heard of Saint Armand? He was a knight during the Crusades. Supposedly, he's buried in the catacombs.
I never heard of him. You should ask a cataphile.
A cataphile?
People who explore the mines under Paris illegally. It's kind of an urban sport.
Interesting. I'll leave you for now, mademoiselle.
Goodbye, Mr. Rector.
I've learned enough about Caroline to complete my analysis. I already know I'm trying to match Caroline to Livia Drusilla. I just need to see if she fits the pattern. Those last few data points have done it. Caroline is not a match for Livia Drusilla. I'll text Dexter and let him know. Looks like we're going to Zurich. But there's one more thing I want to research before I leave Paris. I suppose I could fill Walker in on the investigation. Mr. Walker?
Yes, Mr. Rector?
About my investigation into Caroline Alphonse.
Yeah?
Caroline is not the one we're looking for. Dexter wants us to head to Zurich to look at another candidate.
I'm ready whenever you are, Mr. Rector. Listen, I appreciate the fact that you told me more about this mission than you have to.
I've taken no oaths of silence.
Even so, I'm glad you trust me, at least that far. You asked about my family earlier. I think I mentioned I have one sister. She's married and lives in Ohio. My parents are alive, but we don't really speak. Haven't since I was in college.
Why not?
We have opposing views on a few minor things, like how I should live my life. I don't suppose you really give a rat's ass, but you asked, so that's how it is.
Thank you. That's all for now.
As you say, sir.
It's no use. Walker could fit any of these three, but narrowing it down to one is impossible without further data. I need the information Dexter has, which he's promised to give me after I complete this assignment. Excuse me.
Yes?
I noticed your tattoo.
It's a special design, monsieur. I'm afraid I can't give you the name of the shop.
Are you a catophile?
You know this word.
I said it, didn't I? I'm looking for information.
What information is that?
Do you know the catacombs?
Go to any tourist office. They can give you a brochure.
I don't mean the tourist part of the catacombs.
Oh, then I don't know what you mean.
Do you know how to find Saint Alma, the Knight of the Catacombs?
The skeleton? Yes, I know it.
Will you tell me?
Are you offering a reward? You're not with the police, eh?
Do I look like a French policeman?
No. To find the knight, go down through the manhole cover in the alley near the patisserie en Roumont. You can't miss him.
Thank you. That must be the entrance to the catacombs that the barista mentioned.
Don't strain yourself. Here, let me. You're welcome.
I don't suppose you have a source of light.
Other than my sunny disposition? No, not on me. Who is that?
Saint Amar, the Knight of the Catacombs.
Never heard of him.
Neither had I until recently. He was associated with Benedict de Montfroy, a medieval monk who wrote a treatise on the Moebius theory.
Huh. Interesting.
This must be the skeleton of Saint Amar. He's still dressed like a crusade knight, sword and all. He's been here for hundreds of years. It would be tactless of me to disturb him now. The Paris catacombs contain over 6 million skeletons. Probably most of them died of disease. It's not exactly a place I'd like to linger. The skulls and bones on this wall have letters on them. Interesting. That's a crusade shield. This must have something to do with Saint Amand. It's Saint Amand. How interesting. That must be a portrait of Saint Amand. That's Saint Armand.
He's the skeleton guy, right? Who was he? Mr. Rector? Come on, let's get you back to the hotel. I'm here. Hang on.
Falling.
Are you all right?
Yes. Tired. Thank you.
You're welcome.